And we're live. Good evening, folks. I've got no stats again, so I don't really know what's going on, but it does say I'm streaming, so I'm just going to assume we're live. Didn't do anything on Instagram. That was a mistake. It's fine. We're all here. It is just coming in. Right. So the plan of action this evening is to use rock elements. I'm still using KeyShot 2025.1 for anyone that joined the stream a couple of days ago or on Monday night. So we're still using KeyShot 2025.1. So for anyone who hasn't seen the tools, we're going to be going over them again. But tonight I wanted to focus on something different. So I've got a big list of things to go through, topics for discussion. And using elements or some of our element packs is definitely one of them. So before we get into that, I want to do a shout out from what we've been working on recently at Visioon, because I'm not going to run an ad spot at the start of this, but I'm going to shout out some amazing stuff. So we have recently been working with a colleague of mine, Ian Campbell-Cole, who's I guess an AI artist in many ways, to design some new resources. And the first batch was this brick scene that we had found some references of, and Ian's really fleshed these out. So these are designed in Midjourney and pulled in Pinterest references and everything. So gone through the process of designing these scenes, and now they're available in KeyShot, and they came out really, really well. So we're calling it Brickworks, which is actually a nod to a local venue in Nottingham. So anyone who's been to Knots on a night out might have heard of Brickworks. So because it was all brick, we've given it a nod to that venue. And this is the first scene, kind of the flagship, which is lounge, kitchen, and this courtyard. I think it looks amazing. Inside the scene, it performs really well as well. And there's loads of spots for product. So we're really happy with this one. But I think my favorite, and arguably one of the best renders we've ever made at Visioon, is this one, the Brickworks bathroom, which also Ian designed, and we've modeled it and got it in-house in KeyShot. But this is absolutely nuts, this scene is. It looks fantastic. I think everything, the texture and the lighting, the composition, I pointed out internally. It's the little things like I can't point to, maybe I'm going to point to it on here. The specularity and roughness of this wood here. It's just a joy. So there's all these little things that just added up, and this was kind of a bit of a perfect storm, really. A perfect storm? No. Perfect situation. So the promos that came from it were really good as well. So yeah, they're now available on Visioon. Go check them out. Yeah, they're really, really good. So we're looking at elements tonight. I shouldn't have cancelled Visioon, but I'll bring it back up just to not plug anything, but just to show you what we're looking at. So essentially, we looked in stream 1 at our elements packs, and these are curated decorations that we sell specifically for like power users, for people that can do everything else. They don't need the scenes. These are really detailed resources. So liquid elements for putting splashes around your products, or I don't have a back button, there we go, or stone elements or rock elements, or like we looked at last week, or last stream, log and branch elements. I'm going to focus on rock and stone today, and then we'll come back and do wood at a later date. I've got this all listed down, so we've got plenty of streams coming up. I've got 2 products to look at. I've got many more that we could explore from other scenes. But mainly the Bose, I can't remember the name of it, speaker. Portable smart speaker, there we go. The top is not textured, so yeah, the promo that we used this in was flat, so I just didn't texture the top. So we could look at doing that, or we just get smart and photograph it from the bottom, which could look really good if that's sat on stone. And then the second product is an Aesop bottle, which we've actually used in rock shots before, but I thought we could do something cosmetics, healthcare, skincare, that sort of thing. And I might have a little rummage to see if there's anything else. So yeah, say hi in the chat. If you've got questions as we go through, throw them out there. It doesn't have to be questions about what we're doing on screen. It could be questions about anything. industrial design, KeyShot, visualization. I'm an open book, keen to share stuff. So yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. Before we get into anything with this scene, I'm going to get it set up. I'm just going to go through the general corrections that I normally go through. So like boring stuff, environment size, things like that. Lighting mode. Yeah. Let me know how the music is as well, so I can't really hear it again. We either shoot this on black or we put a scoop in the background. We did that with the bows as well last week. We kind of put a scoop in the background, so... Not with the bows, with the Brawn product last week. This is well out of the center. Whoa. Always forget the tick box. Okay. Where do we start then? That's pretty much the general setup. Aspect ratio is locked. You could look on Pinterest. Audio's coming out of your right channel. Yeah, to be fair, on the balance, it also looks a little bit right as well. Now, is that because of my mic? It should be in mono. Oh, we'll check. I'll check this now. Get sorted while we're on it. If anyone can work out how to make sure it's mono on OBS, that would be fantastic. Make sure mic. This is why we prep before streams, but I'm going to take you on the journey. Make sure mic is mono on OBS. I thought it was. I think it's mono. It's just panned over to the side. Maybe I just need to change the balance. Oh yeah, okay. How's that? How's that? We're in. We're making gains already. It's now in mono. Thanks for flagging. I think the audio levels are okay. I think, yeah, it was just a little bit off. That should be fine. Give me a shout, Primal, if that's better. That should be. Right, so I'm going to look on Pinterest for product rock photography. I've got an idea. I mean, I like what we were doing last week with the dramatic lighting. I mean, there's so many on here. Look at this. This is all just, you know, which way do you want to go with it? I think because it's tabletop, I don't like the idea of sandwiching it to. I mean, that could work. I don't like the idea of sandwiching it like this. This was kind of what I had in mind coming into the stream. So looking up at it. Yeah. Let's start off with that and let's see where it goes. So I'll use that as the reference. I'll keep bringing that back up. So we have a lot of different ones. We have more like carves. See if we can get these bigger for you. How big can we go? Not that big. Not that big. Okay. So we have a lot of different options. And there are more, I think, if I search stone as well. No, I don't think these are going to work as well. I think let's go rock. More jagged. I've just commissioned a volcanic rock element set, which has a 10 by 10 meter like 10 by 10 meter 10 by 10 meter landscapes of like volcanic rock and individual rocks to then position on top of it or do like unique product shots. So very excited to get those back in. That could be all right. That could be all right. Let's go. Yeah, let's have a gamble. This one, it all goes wrong. Yeah. I shouldn't be using the beat. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And say, bear in mind, again, big disclaimer. This is a beta of KeyShot. This is not a launch version, so it will have bugs. It's pretty good. It's going to be fine. 2 rocks. Yes. Nice. So, what angle of this do we want to capture? Maybe we're best lifting the speaker up first. And then seeing where we could position the rock underneath it. Where is everyone tuning in from? I'm keen to know. If you can let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Country, city. I'm very keen to find out. Kind of works on that angle, doesn't it? Hey, Dries. Houston, Pittsburgh. Aarhus. Did I say that right? Did I butcher the pronunciation? Bit flat. I wanted a bit more texture. I don't know if there's a face that's a bit more. Okay, let's bookmark this. Let's bookmark this one. That works okay. We'll see if there's something else that's a bit better. Let's try Roxo 5. You're welcome, Texture Man. Thank you for joining. Orange County, California. What time is it in California? You're 8 hours behind? Are you watching this at work? Are you working right now? $11:45. Oh yeah, my maths are way off. Ignore that. Scratch that. Scratch that. You didn't hear that from me. It'd also work as well. It needs some more padding. We'd need to like bring this rock maybe forward and just glue them together potentially. In the foreground could be quite nice. Doing some rendering work. We love that. Doing rendering work. Watching rendering. Living the dream. To be fair, I watch much worse content than this while I'm working. I get by just fine, so. feel like the weight of it's off. When you like look at how it's weighted, it's too almost like pyramidal. I think I need to shift these ones over so it's kind of all flowing that way. Wait, do my movements match up? I can't work that out. Flowing this way. It needs to flow that way. What does everyone do for a living then? Is everyone industrial designers-ish? For the KeyShot crew, Dries is a product manager at KeyShot, I think. Dries, is that correct? Definitely working on the dev team, so if you have requests, Dries is the person to ask because he can actually get it done and get it actioned, so... Product designer. Close. Automotive designer, industrial designer. Nice. Product photography. Getting better in Houdini. Interesting. Houdini's the devil, isn't it? Difficult. Gotta respect anyone that can use Houdini professionally. It's just nuts. I made one chair in Houdini. That's the extent of my experience. I made one chair and I was like, yeah, I'm out. I know it's not made for making furniture. It's like one simulation. It's just, yeah. Nice. Do you know what? That could be quite a nice angle. I might try. I've also got on my list wide angle photography. A wide angle lens. Because how often do we use wide angle lenses? Every time we open a scene, it's like crank it, sound, orthographic, sound. Never really use wide angle lenses. I feel like this is an opportunity because I feel like this could work. Look, so that's a nice angle. It's a nice angle. 38mm not that wide, to be fair, and this is a small object, so. Save. Smart. What to do in the background. It's either backdrop behind it, straight plane, fire a light, and have sort of, I would say, radial going up from here, radiating out, which could be quite nice because you kind of get the edge lighting of the rocks. We could backlight the whole thing, to be fair. We start there. Or let's just see what it would look like and do a little play test. I know it's unrealistic doing this. Having like a black background with that around the side. Just because it's unrealistic, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It could look good. It's a bit lower. Wider. This definitely needs HDRI pins, just aren't good for this. The reasons HDRI pins aren't good for feature lighting here, for anyone who's like less experienced in KeyShot. I talked about this in stream 1. Area lights, spotlights, they're volumetric. They have both direction and volume. So a spotlight goes like this. An area light goes like this, more or less. HDRI lights all move in the same direction. Esben's got a really good video on YouTube about breaking it down. And so when you light up the rocks, you're not getting the volumetric light, you're getting the same kind of light on all the faces that go in the same direction. It looks like a game in this case. It looks gamified. It looks like the lights are baked onto it. Whereas if we start adding area lights, spotlights, in this case, planar lights, it should look a lot more realistic. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there for now. We'll come into the battery in a bit. That looks pretty naughty. Shift 1. If you didn't see it on Monday, that didn't work. Shift 1. Oh, 2 plain lights. My bad. If you didn't see it on Monday, we now have the planar light. This is currently in the KeyShot 2025.1 beta. It is really cool because it lets you basically use things like the set highlight feature on an area light or area light spot. I'm using the term area light, but it's not an area light. It's a planar light. It lets you use highlight. Spot highlight feature, click and drag, move the highlight. So I can move this light around. I can use control and scroll to move it closer. I can use control, shift and scroll to make it more or less powerful. And then I can also change the vertical spread, horizontal spread, and the size of that light. Super flexible, and it's only going to get better from here. So if you haven't seen this, good things are coming. I'm going to make this very small, I think. That's really difficult with the logo on there as well. We're going to have to be careful of that, because that just disappears. It's like anything, the logo's just gone. We're in the trial and error phase. So in my workflow, I like to just stick a light on, stick a pin on, move it around, see if it sticks. Let's look down if we fire down on top of it. So I'm now using the normal mode, so I'm now going normal to these faces. So that would be kind of shining down pretty on top of it, more or less. Get geometry view open. So I now have this light directly above. I'm just narrowing down almost like a spotlight where it can go. See if that works. Good on the rock. Look, this edge lighting. Again, not realistic. Looks so good though. It's nice picking up the silhouette of the product. Maybe that should be cooler. So that's those two lights working together. Go again. What else can we do? Save. I have a new reel going up tomorrow for anyone who has been watching the tutorials on Instagram. The next one, you'll be glad to know, is on wood mapping. Wood mapping in 90 seconds using our resources at Viziune. We made some great scenes recently using wooden furniture, so felt right. No. See, you got to try it to know that it's not right. It just makes the rock way too prominent. Yeah. The issue with going around that is just we absolutely lose the logo. What if that's more of a beam? I'm just messing around for a bit and seeing what coloured lighting we'll do. It looked pretty good in the state it was in, to be honest. Ugh. Not. Like that little pop of green though. I do like that. It's maybe a little bit too much, but I do like that pop of colour in that. Especially if the rocks were black. I'm just colour adjusting the rocks to make them darker and less saturated. Maybe increase the contrast. Maybe make them more shiny. To make them more shiny would be... That's interesting. It's not a bad shot. I like that light how it was before though, casting light down as well. Let's bring that back. So let's duplicate this. Oh no, I don't want to duplicate it. Let's just make a new one. Normal. Ooh, where did I just move? Ah. It's a better playlist tonight. Yeah, I like that. So I'm just playing around. I just let you. Sorry, I'm not talking too much at the moment. This one here is a very small light right above the speed. I'm going to move it up a little bit now, just so it's a little bit more realistic and not too harsh on here. But just going to move it. Oh. Very hot on there. So wait, do I have 2 on there? Losing track of my lights. No. Now, I'd normally edit this in Lightroom, but you can imagine as you start to add a vignette to it, start to tail it off a little bit there. Let's do the backdrop. It looks Burger King-esque. Interesting. I like Burger King. We were discussing the other day, the only time we ever get a Burger King is at like a European airport. I would never get a Burger King in the UK. It's just, it's not even on my radar. Someone said to me they had a Burger King after a night out in the UK, which to me is mental. Like, after a night out, you're in a kebab shop, you're in a Mackey's. Burger King, not even on my radar. So because I'm putting this plane here, it means I'm gonna have to replace the HDRI pin that is currently behind it. See, now I also have to deal with this crap. Now, what's that? Where's that coming from? There. What's that? Yeah. Leaves. Go. Maybe we could do leaves in the next one. Do like a leafy, sunny scene. That looks so good. We just need to get it somewhat illuminated. Nice crap on that. I mean, I could just move the plane further back. It's kind of cheating. I go further back with the plane so that the light doesn't clip it. How far do we have to go back? Far. Oh god. That is annoying there as well. Nope. Got 2 lights in versus the same place. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Bit aggressive, isn't it? PC specs, please. There's nothing. Oh, I don't want to sound like a knobhead. It's nothing special. This is running on a 3080. So, yeah, I mean, 2 generations old. Wasn't flagship then. Yeah. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Obviously, CPU doesn't really matter in this case because of GPU rendering, but it is on the latest Ryzen platform. Whatever that is, I can't remember. I'm pretty out of tune with desktop CPUs and RAM and everything like that. It's not really my thing at the moment. So when I updated this computer, I didn't have the right memory for it. I'm gonna apply a gradient onto this, similar to what I did on Monday with the TP1, to see what happens if I fade it out a little bit, and then I'm gonna move on to finalizing the green light. And then I will probably call this one a day, but we'll see how we get on. Currently hiring at Visioon, in case you haven't seen. So if you know anyone that is a, I guess, more traditional 3D artist from a traditional 3D background, so Blender, Substance, poly modeling, that sort of thing. That's what we're recruiting for, a material specialist. So if you know anyone that you can forward on, the job posting's on our Instagram. And yeah. This is one issue that I've found, is that I have to position, it's a bit cumbersome to position the gradient. Dries is going to say that we have light textures to use, and I will use them at some point. I just haven't bothered yet, so I am in the wrong. Just the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, that looks good anyway. Let's go with that. Right, so the backdrop pin, I think, should either go all the way up the side of the product like that, so you get the full silhouette. I need to get rid of that. I need to find out what's doing that. I'll get to it. And I think this is going to be a no bloom scene, but we can try it. Ignore that bit of rock in the bottom. Give it a little bit of glow. A little smidge. Right. Green. It's handy that it colours it. I like that. Where does the green go? The line I want it to cut is kind of round. Actually, that's pretty good. Need to make sure it still clips on the side of the product though. It's alright. Too much bloom. Right, what is illuminating this? That. Oh, look at the state of that. Ugh, wish we didn't have to show the actual product. It looks good though, the product looks good. That sounds bad to Bose. And just when you go like that and you're just like, oh yeah, sound. Sell them that image. Does it need a little bit of light on this side? Do we need to patch this in? We try it just before we move on. What happens if we... Let's not crash it. Let's save. Do we need like a large pin on that side? That's not very bright. The issue is now we're just losing the logo which we had before. Let's A/B that. We're chopping through off the logo there, to be honest. I'm on the fence. Let's go dramatic. Okay, let's balance out the green. Do we make the green brighter? Oh yeah, I need to sort this out. So the benefit of this light now is I should be able to... Where is it clipping? It's clipping on there. So I should be able to maybe spin it or something. Or move it over. Oh, it's not that light, is it? Wrong light, sorry. I can either... Which pin was it? It's not that one. It's not that one. It's the white overhead. It's not, it's both. Oh, annoying. This is where you get into the details, it's just annoying, isn't it? Oh, I've locked the horizontal and vertical angle together. That's probably not helping. Right, try again. Here we go. Okay. Go back. So now it's just this light over here which is clipping it. Somehow. I don't get how that's always hitting it. I suppose it's not, is it? Let's turn the top off. Turn those off. We can just see this. And the HDRI pin's getting it as well, that's okay. Yeah, this move tool's a bit off. Hard to work with. Okay, I think we're gonna have to leave it. Move on. This is a green light. More saturated? Right? No, absolutely not. It looked good how it was. That's good. Okay. Camera? So that'd be punched in. 100mm lens. Then we come out where we were around 38. That's too far. This and looking up a little bit. Ignore the pin in the background. Closer. Depth of field. 10 f-stop. 5 f-stop. That's good. Yeah, I think I would edit it kind of warmer, to be honest. A little bit. A little bit of sharpening. Again, I'd do that in post. We could edit it. We could do the post edit together. What to do with this pin? I like this here. How far's it got to go up to get the edge on the top? Too far. Wonder what happens if we like uplight the rock as well. Let's just try that. It might be a bit distracting. Ooh. So how would we do that? We do bottom. So yeah, we use these presets and just have it on the bottom. Maybe overcook the size of it. I think it needs to be a lot sharper if we're going to do this. I can't do it. It won't let me grab the sides. There we go. Lighting up the product is the issue. We'd have to like to narrow it down. What does that do to the product? Too much. Save, don't crash. Distracted, isn't it? Let's do light positioning. Wait, light positioning target. Let's set the target as here, and then let's orbit around that point. Move us out of the way. I'm going to vote no to uplighting the rock. I think it looks better just from the top. That looks better. Okay, someone said... let me just... what does it look like? Where is that pin? Right there, okay. See that. Someone said about fog. Dangerous suggestion. Dangerous. We can give it a try. So... add in a sphere. Make sure it covers everything in the scene. It doesn't really matter too much if the camera doesn't come into it. And then let's make that scattering medium. Don't crash, 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 don't crash. Hey, hoppa, we're in. Right. Density lower. This could look absolutely disgraceful. Woo. Right. Foggy. I don't like that spot though now is the issue. If we were to make it... if we were to just use a noise texture... I'm not going to try and use a VDB in this one. So for anyone who hasn't used a VDB file, it's kind of like actually like an image, a 3D model of smoke, a density map of smoke that you would put in around the bottom. But I'm a bit wary of using that. I don't even know where I've got VDBs. I'll have a look in my files now. Bear with. While I'm searching for that, I will try and get something going on in here. It was just really light. Just like a volumetric like that. Lighter. One issue that we've got is that HDRI pin now behind the product is now lighting up all of this volumetric. So you got no, it's not a volumetric light casting through it like a spot like this. It's just going on the whole thing. So you get grey all the way out. Whereas if I turn off this pin, now I get black. That looks good. Suppose I could always just make it dark. I mean, with contrast in Lightroom or something like that. Needs texture on it though. Do I have VDB files? No. I don't know where I can look for them. Right, okay, let me try something else. Let's try using... That's why it wasn't doing anything. Magnitude. Is it bigger? Let's color to number it in there. Color to number. Preview the color to number. There you go. Now it has texture at least. It's too big. Everyone's very quiet tonight. Not many questions. You're supposed to pick my brains. It's fine though. Less and less I get chance to just sit and render something, so it's very welcome to have the opportunity to. Research submissions next Monday. Ouch. All going. I do miss my final year though. Final year's such a fun time. I miss uni. Yeah, it was good. Even though it was absolutely brutal at times. It was hard work. We're in design industry, like us and architects. I mean, the architects that I know, are, like, they are under it all the time. I dare to say we have it a little bit better than architects. I'm not going to cause a rift like that in this stream, but we have it pretty rough. And when you go into the industry, it's just the same as well. Okay. That come back? Absolutely not. I'm out. I'm done. I might return to education when I'm like 50. Come back with when I'm like outdated and I don't know what the new CAD program is. And I'm telling everyone that they need to use KeyShot. But by that time, everyone's just imagining products and they just come to life in front of you. And I'm still using this version of KeyShot because that's what I'm good at. I didn't move with the times. I'm going to leave it there. I think actually a VDB session is really good. So I am going to put that on my to-do list to come and do a VDB session. I'm going to quickly render this out. We are going to edit it together. And yeah, this looks good. Not bad. Let's just put it on desktop and then bows. Let's render at a reasonable resolution so we can actually get it done in time. So let's go 2560 by 1920, 1,000 samples. There's no texture on there, is there? Yeah, it'll be fine. Render. When I use scattering, I have a lot of noise. How do I denoise? I mean, are we assuming that you're using denoise? Are you using denoise? Denoise is a really good job nowadays. It's been ages since I've used scattering medium though. This could be a complete misjudgment on this, but it's good. I probably should have gone wider to be honest, because I've not left myself much room for cropping in this, but it's okay. Let me put that on my list to do a VDB session. VDB. Oh, left sharpening on. Let's bear with. Left sharpening on. I do like sharpening KeyShot. It's great that it's there, but if I'm gonna edit it in Lightroom, rather not have sharpening on. It would be great to be foggy down here. We'll get it next time. Maybe when we do the VDB session, we'll start here. Let's try this render again. Going back to the graphics card question, you know, we're 2 generations on from what I'm using now. We use 3090s at work, and don't get me wrong, it's great to have faster graphics cards. But when I was coming up, it was like it was a game changer. 30 series was. And 20 series was obviously when we got GPU mode. It was, I think 20 series was out because it was RTX, but it's changed so much now. And a used graphics card, if you can get a used 3080 or a laptop with a 3080, like you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot, and we're so like blessed that we can do that now. Yeah. So plan of action for this is just to render this out. I'm going to give this a few more samples just until I think that would probably be okay here because denoise is really, really good now. I think that would probably be okay. I'm just going to give it a few more samples to clean up there, and then I'm going to edit it in Lightroom Classic, which I will open now. Just going to go back to camera while Lightroom opens, just in case. Don't know what's going to be on there. Login. We'll be back with you in a moment. How many of you use Lightroom? I've got content coming for post editing, because I still suspect that a lot of people out there aren't good enough at editing to eke the most out of their renders. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of renders where nothing, it doesn't change that much. You might just be sharpening a bit, adding a bit of contrast, correcting the white balance if you didn't quite get it right. But some of our images absolutely come to life when we edit them. And I imagine quite a lot of people are missing out on that experience of seeing something just come alive in the edit. So never treat that render that you pull out of any rendering software or even your yeah, if I don't know where it could. I'm just gonna say, I imagine a lot of people don't edit their images in Lightroom, and it's really, really important. I have got on my main computer at work like thousands of presets that I go through. This I've got like 2 packs from like way back, so I need to get all the other ones installed. But these are from Peter McKinnon. If you know Peter McKinnon on YouTube, he's sells. on this mic. I'm gonna have to get it fixed. Sorry. Seems to be holding now. I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, let's edit this. So I normally just kind of scroll through presets, and I'm looking for mainly color, because everything else is easy to change. Color and curves is quite difficult, and that's what I think you're getting into, like being a professional. This is really slow to update though. This has all gone really slow. I think KeyShot's crashing in the background. There we go. Save it. So yeah, great place to start in Lightroom editing. Just go and buy some presets online. Etsy's a great place to buy them. There's loads of websites where people sell presets. A lot of the presets are like landscape and wedding photography, which you can imagine have a certain style, should we say? But you got to dig through it and find the photographers that post their presets, because there's some really good stuff to get you started. Like immediately looking at this image, I want to drive up the contrast. I want to drive up the texture. I probably want to add grain to make it a little bit more photographic, and add a vignette as well. So I already know what I'm going to do before I've even gone into Lightroom with this. Some stuff I could do in KeyShot, but it would take longer to do it in KeyShot than it would with Lightroom. Plus doing it in KeyShot is kind of destructive. I haven't got the option to do it after the fact, after it's rendered. Whereas if I do it in Lightroom, I can. This is still crashing. Again, bear in mind, we are on the beta. KeyShot is really good at pulling itself out of crashing. Famous last words. KeyShot is really good at pulling itself out of crashing. It doesn't crash a lot, and when it crashes, it normally just goes whoop. It's saving. There we go. It's really good at it. If it crashes, it just goes bang. If it starts to think about it, I'm always fairly confident it's going to pull itself out the hole. Did that save though? That did save. We're good. And now it wants to crash again. It was saved at... Oh no, that was ages ago. No! Save! That can't be right. Oh, that's date. It has saved. It's saved. It's saved. We're fine. Let's get out of it. Crash, crash, crash. I'll be back in a moment. I'll be back momentarily. I just can't get rid of this window. KeyShot, we had fun. Over to Lightroom. Right. Very quickly. Let's edit this and then we can go to bed. Or carry on working if you're one of the American viewers. It's a bit early actually. I'm not going to bed at only 9 o'clock. And if no presets suit, we just got to go solo. I'm not liking any of these. These are way too cool. That's okay. I can make that work. Probably. But I'm going to go solo. So, texture, clarity up. Highlights up a bit. Shadows down a bit. Grain. Zoom in for the grain. Oh, looks good. Still, yes, why we needed more samples. There's still some little hotspots. Sharpening up. Again, you can use sharpening in KeyShot, but I prefer because you get a bit more control over doing it in here. Obviously, if you're not going to if you're not going to do your photos in post, you can do that in KeyShot. And then vignette. Careful not to flip over. Let's just do a white vignette so we can see it first. Midpoint. Quite round, and then bring it in. Like that, and then let's bring it to dark. Nice. That is good. More contrast, less highlight. So before and after, before and after. Easy. So just eke out a little bit more in this image. Do we want more saturation for the green, potentially? Do we want to change the temperature of it? Slightly pink? What about slightly cool? Slightly cool's nice. More texture. Pretty good. This bit still annoys me here. Like if this was my work, I'd want to kind of dull that out because it is a bit distracting. It's too cool. And then let's just have one last look at the color. So under HSL, where are we? HSL. Color mixing? Nope. Nope. Where on earth is HSL now? Ah, mixer. There we go. So, yeah, now I could just get like per band control of each color. So, green. And then whether to shift the hue of that green slightly. That's good. A bit less saturated. That looks good. I like it. So, definitely needed more samples. We only gave that about 300. That's why we needed more. That blotchiness would be gone, especially because we're using scattering medium. I will try this out, and I will try to get fog in the background. But yeah, I hope to do 2 renders tonight, but we've just got one really nice one. So I'm going to call it there. Remember, if you want KeyShot resources, you know where to go. Head to Vision, where we have everything you want. And if you're not on KeyShot, we actually support Blender now. So we do have software Blender scenes if you prefer Blender. And we also have support for other software. So if you're not on KeyShot or Blender, or you just want to use these anywhere, all of these resources are either FBX and textures or just textures. So we have models, we have packs, and going back full circle to the start, the new resources that we launched this week, the Brickworks Kitchen and the Brickworks Bathroom, are among the best resources we've ever produced. They look fantastic. So if you're looking for a home for your product renders, have a look on here, and yeah, let me know if you purchase anything. The next stream will likely be on Tuesday next week. If you go on my Instagram, there'll be a new tutorial up. What day are we on? Should have been a new tutorial up today, but it will be tomorrow. There'll be a new tutorial on wood mapping tomorrow, and I'll be posting the results of this stream over the weekend. So thank you for joining. Have a good evening or a good day wherever you are in the world. I'll see you on the next stream. Thank you, folks.